Lisa.
And I'm Jenny.
And we're the Shady Tree
Stitches.
Coming at you from our monthly Jenny catch-up. So welcome back, Jenny, and thanks everyone for joining us. This is our challenge about cross-stitch, where you get to see our progress for the week or the month, and we will show you what we've been up to. So sit back and enjoy. If you like what you see, please subscribe, stay up to date with what's happening. Feel free to give us a comment. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comment box because we will answer them. We don't get asked many. We must make everything so clear. All right. Well, this week, I didn't film last weekend, you will have noticed, because I have been busy working on model stitch for the Down the Rabbit Hole magazine, which is coming out, I think, this week, which is exciting. Digital magazine that's published by an Australian, and it's featuring Australian and New Zealand designers and things. So I'm happy to support that. So I had a model stitch to work on, which kept me pretty busy for most of last week, but I did stitch on a few other things, and I even got a finish that wasn't a model stitch.
Yay!
I think next video I'll be able to show you the model stitches, but I got my snowman.
So cute.
He's so cute, and he will very soon be a fully finished. I got to share with you. My new child has just come in because she hasn't heard my instruments before. I don't think she even knows I play instruments. And she's just coming going, what is that? And she's staring at my trombone going, what is that? That, my dear, is a trombone. I'll fill you in on it later. You can't come on video, remember? Okay, so she said, Jenny. This one from DesignWorks comes with a little frame.
Yes.
All I've got to do is pop him in the frame and he will be done, fully finished. But I didn't get that done before today because I actually had two model stitches to work on. I knew I had one and I got that done and it's finished. So it is another finish, but I can't show you yet till the magazine's produced. But it is the last in my my last in Australia series. So it's autumn in Australia. So soon I'll be able to release all four of them, which would be great, on my website. But I also had put in a Biscornu pattern, and I got the letter back and it said, look, love them both. We'll hold off the Biscornu till the September edition for Remembrance Day. Oh, beautiful, no worries. And then I was talking to the publisher the other day, and she said, oh no, well, you know, I'll need them. And I went, but I don't have to stitch the Biscornu yet because you don't need it till September. She went, no, we need it. And I went, oh, okay. I thought you deferred it. And she didn't realize that, yeah, because my Biscornu, I haven't learned how to make two patterns fit on one page on my program yet. So I did send her two patterns called Biscornu 1 and Biscornu 2, but they were the two sides of the Biscornu. So she saw them as two patterns and deferred one pattern. But it's like, no, they go together. And so, yes, I have been badly stitching. And after this video, I'm going to be creating my first ever Biscornu so I can get the model photos off to her in time for publication. So that's what I've been doing. So I've actually had 3 finishes this week.
Wow.
I know. I'm on a roll. It's really good. Okay. What whips have you been working on, Jen?
Well, okay. January was, since I started counting, which was the beginning of 2020, January is my biggest month by quite a bit, but that's, no, I'm not going to be able to keep it up. So January, I had a couple of days with you at the beginning of January, then I had a week off work, and then I've had my evenings because Scouts wasn't on, SES wasn't on, and I've just joined a choir, and so none of that had started yet. That all started this week, so I'm not going to have as much time to stitch. So January is a sort of an aberration, shall we say. Plus, I was making a really big effort to try and get at least the lowest level of the Down Under Divas around Australia challenge. Oh man, I've decided that was it. I will do their fortnightly ones. I cannot keep up with their monthly ones. The smallest amount of stitches is 3,000.
Yeah.
Now, when you consider that my usual monthly amount is somewhere between 500 and 1,500, trying to do 3,000 in a month, that was a big effort. I did manage it. I squeaked in. I figured I could still count it as the 31st of January, even if it was just after midnight.
Yeah, you hadn't gone to bed yet.
No. So, I'm throwing pages. Okay, so first one was my storybook Beatrix Potter. So it previously looked like this one. Previously, I had got that far with my middle circle. And now I'm going to have to go in closer so that you can actually see. So I finished the circle, and I've also done a little bit of white stitching right down the bottom. So going really close.
Yep.
That's the top of Mrs. Tiggy Winkle's hat.
Cool. Well, that's got you in a really good place now to continue with. That's good, Jen.
Yeah. And I started with Mrs. Tiggy Winkle because she's the one that's closest to, if you have a look.
Yeah.
She's almost right on the circle. Everyone else is a little bit further away. So,
which is very interesting placement from the designer. But anyway.
Well, yeah, but I think it's because she's shorter, and so the two on either side, they're taller. They could go further up. Yeah. So they had to squish her. So she's on the same level as the other.
No, I just would have brought her down a little bit at the bottom.
Move them all down a little bit. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. That's just my designer head talking.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's so there's one row. No, there's not. She starts right on the edge. But anyway, so that was 500 and something. Hang on. 513 stitches on that one.
Great.
Then trying not to dislodge my pile. Next was my Deck the Halls. This one. So that's obviously that's the cover page. I don't have a cover page because it's a PDF, so I haven't printed the cover page, so that's why. But it started the month looking like this. So it kind of said mist, almost.
It looks so good on that fabric though.
And now it definitely says, well, it says mistletoe with a squiggle.
It's really fascinating though how different the colours were in that photo to real life. In that photo, it looked like it was a brown fabric.
Yeah.
Each coloured mist.
Yeah. Now, I have changed the bottom colour of the mistletoe because in the pattern, it was supposed to be like an orangey red. And I went, that doesn't go with the pale pink. So I've made it a bit more of a tone on tone. I'll still use the orangey pink because it works with the other red that's in it. But yeah. So that one was 506 stitches.
Wow, that is so good, Jen.
This one's quite easy because it's big chunks of block color.
Yeah.
And now that I've done that much across the middle, I can sort of start going up and down and doing some of the other, like not just the words, but just above the T and the O and the E at the end is a snowman. So I can start moving into that. And although it's in white, because I'm not stitching on white, it will be easier.
Yes, definitely.
Then there's our cross stitch nation that we're doing.
Yep.
So this one got 433 stitches, so not quite as many as the others.
And Jenny's been good and joining us for our once a week stitch along. So unfortunately, she's going to have to join us on a different night, but yeah, I'm loving it. You've got your before photos too.
Yeah, I've got a couple more weeks. Rehearsals don't start till the end of February, so. Okay. So that's where I started with Sue's dress. And now I must have a whole Sue.
You do. Well, she almost has a whole dress.
Yes. Yes.
That
So
is
there's a
such
couple
pretty
more rows
variegated.
below, and this arm still like that's her sleeve to the elbow. That's when the thread ran out, which is kind of annoying. Anyway.
Well, I'm going to butt in there just because we're talking about Cross Stitch Nation.
Sure.
Not wanting to belittle Jenny's efforts because I think she's done really well. So this is where I'm up to.
Ooh.
So I've got a whole Sue, a Rachel, and about half a Michelle.
Well, I was talking to Nat the other night about it, and she was saying, what color were you going to be stitching with? Because she'd done you, and she got up to the thread for the Lisa character, and so I thought, I can use Nat. I know what Nat's favorite color is, so when I get to Nat, I can make her actually be stitching with her favorite color. So maybe I need to do that. Not just because we've all chosen our dress colors.
Yeah, but not the thread color.
Yeah, but maybe I could do that too.
Well,
if it ties in.
Can I point out that my thread color for Sue is purposely the color of Rachel, because we were saying that Sue spilt bleach all over Rachel's clothes.
Right.
So I've got her stitching in the bleach thread.
Uh-huh. And the other thing that I will need to consider is the border, because the colors that I've chosen for everybody's dresses, I don't think that red colored border is going to work.
But you can make it any color you like. So
I know. So that will be, I think, although it may be quite easy to do the border when I get to the bottom of Sue's dress, I'm actually going to leave it until I've done a few more people and then look at, because for all, like, yes, I've chosen threads, but how they look on the skein is slightly different to how they come out stitched, particularly the variegated ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, need to have a bit more of I need to get a little bit further into it before I look at what color border. And I know Natalie's changed the flowers at the top.
She has.
So that's another thing that I can tweak.
Yep, there's lots of choices. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing us stitching them, by the way, anyone who is around between about 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. on a Thursday night in Sydney time, if you're in No New Starts, jump on the No New Starts Zoom room, come and stitch with us. We're there a lot of nights during the week, so we like meeting new people. Come and join us for a stitch.
Yeah, so that's sort of Sal night. So one of the other ladies, Debbie, she's not doing our stitch along, but she purposely waits till Thursday night to do her Sal stitching.
And it means that we are consistently getting stitching done on a Sal each week.
Yeah.
So if you need some motivation to stitch on a Sal, bring your Sal along on a Thursday night and join us.
Yeah. Then I have the biggest one that I did. So my castle.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the prompt for this one was stitch 2,000 stitches on a border. And when I saw that, I went, I know what I'm doing, because I figured it would be quite easy. It's long stretches of the same color. And I did it. I did 2,001 stitches, but oh my goodness.
Oh, Jenny, I'm so proud of you. That is such a big effort.
So it started the year, come on, share. It started the year looking like this. And now, make sure I get it up the right way. Lots more border.
Yay.
Oh, including some at the bottom too. Sorry, it won't all fit on the screen.
No.
Well, because I got to almost the end and it's like, well, I could, these ones in the corner are not letters. They've got, I've started doing a little bit of the twiddly bits in that. And I decided, no, that's too fiddly.
Yeah.
For that last Monday night. I needed some more just stitch and go. So I did a little bit at the bottom.
That's great.
So yeah, and that was sort of here in the middle where I stopped. That's where there. That's where my Q snap went to. So that's why I stopped there.
Fair enough. But you've got a lot more scaffold now, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teresa Wensler does such gorgeous designs. They're a pain to stitch, but geez, they're worth it.
Yeah, well, this one's not so bad because it's got the two borders. It breaks it up a little bit. The other Teresa Wentz, the one that I'm doing, it's only got one border, and so it's and because I started in the middle, yeah, it's got a long way to go because it's slow going. If I could get to the border, that would help a little bit. But I'm still quite a way away from the border. So anyway, all right. Well, that was all my stitching for January.
Wow, that is so good, Jenny. I'm super proud of you. All right. Well, so what was your total stitch count for January?
3,453.
That's like more than double your usual.
Well, quite a bit more. So I've had some months where, yeah, I've only done sort of 500, 600. My biggest month previously, I'm just having a quick look, 2,316 January last year and 2,315 April 2020. They were my biggest two previously.
That's good. Well, look, as you know, you're not going to maintain that level, but you are going to continue to maintain a bit of momentum from it. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you'd asked me, I would have said I had a pretty bad January. I did. It was a bad January, but stitching wise, count wise, no. I actually got 20,383 stitches done in January. I have moved myself up to being a 5-star hotel hopper because out of the pace cars I won, which was very surprising to me. So I've set the bar high, but I mean, that's in my ballpark. I know I think my highest months ever was 26,000 and I've got a 22 sometime last year, but I've got down to 14,000. So, it's a good bar. So I'm going to see if I can maintain the 20 each month.
I guess because you were doing the model stitching, or were they February? Because I'm just thinking if you just work.
One of the models was in January, the other one's been in February.
Yeah.
And that really boosts my count because even though it slows me down on all my challenges and things, I can use it for some, but not a lot because I don't like to publish the picture. It's still a good number of stitches. So yes, I did.
Yeah, and you're just concentrating on one project. So that was the same with me for the castle. I just had to keep stopping and taking photos because I was using that for the No New Starts travel event. So I just had to keep track of where I was up to each day. So I use one of the stitch counters on my phone, but that does cumulative. But in my book, which I didn't bring over, in my journal, I write the stitches that I do every day, so I could keep track to know, okay, I've got to stop and take a photo when I get to this point, or a little bit over when I get to the end of the row.
So I've done quite a lot of different pieces because it's been about a week and a half. In order of doing them, so I did my model stitch, and the first model stitch is about 2,300 stitches. So that was the one that we were talking about in January. The next piece that I worked on was, look through my little cards. I'm loving my cards.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I need to do that at least for the PDF ones that I've got. So.
Well, that's what I thought. It makes them all even. So yeah. The Scarlet House Seeking Refuge. I did some work on this one for 324 stitches. There we go.
Oh.
So it looks a bit, well, it was looking like a TARDIS.
Yes, I can see that.
So I've got a TARDIS and green. I was sick of the green blocks.
Yep.
So yes, so my Seeking Refuge has had some love. The next one I did some work on, and this was to start my week go, but I started them at the end of the month once the numbers had been called.
Okay.
And that's why it's just like 300 stitches, was just to get just a little bit of week go done. The next one I worked on, it's the only thing, my cards are in no order whatsoever. It's my aquarium. Ooh. And this is my aquarium, and I've had to stitch in blue.
Yep.
So all that blue there, it's really hard for you guys to see because you sort of see the green and you're like,
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
the
hang on,
blue-
which bits are stitched and which bits aren't.
yeah.
Yes.
And what I discovered is that this is an 11 count. So
Right.
up here, I'd done 2 strands of blue, but then I realized I should be doing 3 strands. So I
Oh,
started
yeah,
doing
that
3
does
strands.
look better. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go over the top bit probably, when I feel like it. But I mean, you can't really see until I've done the, these bits of blue. But what I'm going to do is just sort of colour in this area and then end up filling in the bit. And this one's on my the local guy's handmade imitation omnic.
Yes.
So it fits on there perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's nice and sturdy and I do really like it. So yeah, that was that one.
So will you be doing the trick that Nat suggested for me, just doing one strand, just doing one way, one extra strand?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just do the cross over the top, I think.
Yeah.
See how that looks. But I'm going to wait till I've done some more colours around it. So that will be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I also did some more on my gnome, particularly his beard.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a beard.
Got a beard. And, you might still be thinking, why did I pick this colour fabric? But when you look at him, he's going to look great. It's just that the bits I'm doing at the moment are the bits that match the fabric.
Yes.
But once you put all of him on that fabric, he's going to look great.
Yes, and I guess you'll have to see when you do the grey of his beard whether the bits just down the side need a tiny touch of back stitch so that they.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think the grey will cover it quite nicely. So
yeah, and
if
not just a couple of extra stitches of the grey as back stitch around that little
yeah,
bit.
maybe we'll see.
But you don't want it to be too much like outlining, just enough that you can see that there is beard there.
Yeah.
So no, let's go all the way up. Oh, you should be okay then.
I should be fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he will look good. It's just that the bit I've started at is right in the colour. Okay. And I've been able to start doing these I was working through the weeklies for Daily 30. So a Daily 30, look, here's an actual big pattern.
Ooh.
A hawk run piece that I was struggling with. Now, my hawk run I struggle with because
it's on 40 count.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. So
and if you did it on anything bigger, it would be huge. I mean, it's big enough on 40 count.
Yes, but I've realised I've made a mistake.
Oh,
it's all right. It can stay. So
okay.
That's where we are. We've done 3 blocks and then we moved over here. And so I started going, all right, let's do the top block.
Oh, so you're doing them out of order. Oh,
because
that's okay.
Really, I should have been doing that horse block.
Okay.
But I'll just
right. So that's you've just done it out of order. It's not a
no.
Yeah. No. Okay. That's fine. That can stay.
Well, I'm not unpicking it. It's staying. It won't affect the storyline.
No.
See, I just, in my brain went, oh yeah, I'm up the top corner, but I have a whole nother row to go up the top.
Yeah, but at least doing that one, like if it was the Christmas one or something, or one of the year in Hawk Run Hollow, you would have had to adjust because it wouldn't.
I actually think it could even look better switching them around because it'll have the bigger block. I don't know. We'll see. It's the way it's going to be, so that's just the way it is. Yeah, so anyway, the good news is that using my magnifier, I could see it. So as long as I'm sitting in my stitchy chair, Hawk Run can get some love.
Yay.
Well, it has to get 1,011 stitches this month regardless. And then my ABC houses. So I've totally finished LMN. And then because I was doing some quick stitching, I've done some more borders and I've just started here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm using some of the specialty flosses in this chart when it's called for things that need a bit of variegation. It's sort of no point me showing the photo because I think the photo I've got of the houses is not that letter. So that's what I did at the end of the month. And I got to change my planner to the next month. See, then I finished the snowman. I did some more on the houses. And then I basically have been working on that second model. And that second model is about, I think it came out at 1925 stitches.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can't show you that one yet.
No.
So the only other thing I can show you is my bookshelf.
Oh, yes.
I have been being good and working on it consistently. So that's where it is. So the whole of January is complete and I've started February. So there we go.
Uh-huh.
And that, people, is my whips. So I didn't have much to show you last week to film, but there's definitely a lot to show you this week, particularly when combined with Jenny. All right, what have you got for haul, Jen?
Well, I bought some more project bags. These ones took a lot longer to get here because they were coming from Canada, from Gamma's Treasures, Dawn at Gamma's Treasures. So, oh, there you go. There's the info. So she's on Etsy. Oh, yeah, sorry. That side too. Gamma's Treasure Shop on Etsy, but she's also on. So I got, oops, I'll show you the backs first. So I got this one. So it's a whole bunch of little stitchy things.
Yeah.
And then the inside has all the stitchy words.
That is so cute.
So cute. So they're 8 by 11 size. The plastic's not quite as thick as the ones that I've got from other people, but you know, it'll still work. Really well made. I like it. I'll show you just on the. She's done like just a little bit across the corner to stop the corners pulling, and really well made. And she threw in a free, what she called it, a thread bed.
Mm-hmm.
So matching with a little magnet.
Lovely.
And then the other one I got, also
very Jenny,
sort of stitchy.
Parisian stitchy.
With red polka dots, and she gave me the little thread bed for that one too. So that's what I bought, and then I got a Christmas present. One of my friends was sort of, we were both kind of like, I don't know what to give you. I don't know what to give you either. So I thought, well, this pattern that I'd bought some time ago, it calls for Gentle Arts threads. So I gave her the list and said, any or all of these, please. So I now have most of the, I think I'm only missing 2 of the colors. So she's given me, so that's now ready, kitted. I just have to choose some fabric.
Lovely, lovely.
Mind you, funny story about that. So I'd suggested that she buy from Janet's, JK's, or from Stitch at Willoughby, because I know that they have all of those. Stitch didn't have any of the colors. Janet had one. The rest of them she got from the Cruel Goblin. She drove all the way from, she lives in Western Sydney. She drove all the way over to my house, basically, to collect my present. One of her daughters is saying, why don't you ask Auntie Jenny to get it? And she's saying, no, that's not how you do things. You can't do that for presents.
Auntie Jenny, well, she could have if she didn't tell you. It's like, I've got an order to pick up from the Cruel Goblin. But as long as it was packaged and you didn't know what was in it, you could have just come and picked up a package not knowing it was your present. But if you had to go in and say, I'd like this colour thread, and this colour thread.
No, no, so the reason, she'd put in an order, but then she didn't want to pay postage. So she decided to drive over instead.
Oh, well, no choice. Speaking of the Cruel Goblin, I haven't got it yet, but I bit the bullet and went with the new Schoolgirl Sampler Club. So we'll have more of them to look at. Because I haven't even stitched any of the ones I got last year. You know,
you started on one.
I started on one, yes.
In the alternate colour.
But I have decided to do it in the 36 count linen because I'm not minding that.
Okay.
Is that all your haul?
If you sorted your magnification, I know you've tried many varied options with all of those.
Yes. No, look, I can stitch 36 count with just my double glasses. For anyone who doesn't know, when I'm stitching, I look like this. It's very attractive. But what it is so these are multifocals, and they have the gradient from distance to reading, depending on where I look. These are a 1.5 magnifier. I can't do a 2, gives me a headache. This is what's right for me. But the thing is that it's actually the distance between the lenses is what makes it work for me. Yeah. So some of the other magnifiers that I've tried have been out here, you know, and it's the refraction distance is what's different. So the most comfortable for me is actually just to go with a 1.5 like that. And I stitch away very happily.
Yeah.
Except on 40 count.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I went away with my parents for the weekend, last weekend, and took my stitching and pulled out my magnifiers, and Mum goes, "When did you start wearing glasses?" Like, I'm not. They're just, well, they're not pretend, but they're magnifiers for my stitching. That's the only time I wear.
Fair enough. Is that all your haul?
That's on my haul.
Okay, I have haul.
Ooh.
I know. I have got my silks for you.
I was going to say, oh, lots of lovely golden
golds.
They look like hair color too.
Oh, yes.
Princess hair color.
Princess hair color. So they're the silk of the month from January. So there you go. Well, that gives me an idea. The silk of the month is the one that's specially dyed.
Yes.
So yes, very nice hair colors there for golden colored people like maybe Jenny. We shall see. I don't think I'm using silk for that. And then I went down to JK's and I had to pick up an order for a friend and drop off some more fabric. And I needed monkey snaps. But she also has just bought the contents of another closed down LNS. It's actually one in Newcastle that I'd heard about. It no longer exists. So she had some cones. So I now have 939, 321, 3865, and 935. I just like those colours. I thought they were quite good sampler designing colours. Yeah, so that's what I got. And of course, my beautiful little needle minder. Super cute. So yeah, she does do a great job. And then I got another stamped kit, which is a map of the world. That's a stamped one. There we go. That is my haul, but hey, I had haul this week, which is good. Okay, what are your plans, Jen?
Well, so first thing, so I did just go and grab my book. The first thing, partly inspired by Laura X Stitches on YouTube. She's got a journal and she put a whole bunch of stickers in it. It's like, I have a whole bunch of stickers. I should do that. So, because last year my book was fairly boring. I had 1 page per whip, and I put the challenge I was doing and my stitches at the bottom. This year, I thought, no, I need to have a double page. But I created a new page
section
to start. And then for each, I should find one where I've actually done stuff. So I've got stitch count on 1 page, challenges on the other, and then I tick them off when I've done them, and I put appropriate stickers. So this is Beatrix Potter, so there's a duck and a goose. So yeah, so I've tried to do appropriate ones for each one. Some of them, my sewing with Mama, so I've got some rulers that I stuck in. I also have cross stitch nation, so I didn't have any pictures of stitching, sorry, any stickers, but so I just put some decorative X's in instead for that one. So I've tried to match my stickers to my so my koala biscornu. So I've got an Australian flag and some koala, Yeah, tried to match it just to make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, but how I did it, so Lisa was suggesting maybe some of you might like to see my planning. So I'm just going to share. So what I did, because spreadsheets are my thing. So I'll show you January first. So I went through each of the different challenges that I was looking at, made the group a different color, because that way I can tell which ones I can double dip and which ones I can't. And then I went down the bottom and stuck all of the things that all of the prompts, and then cut and paste from there and went, okay, so yeah, this one, something with an animal that can't move backwards was my Beatrix Potter, because hedgehogs can't move backwards. That was not one of the ones that they had in their suggestions, but I figured given the nature of hedgehogs, and so I looked it up, and yep, fair enough, they can't move backwards. So yeah, so the Deck the Halls was 500 stitches that looked like a dream. And so then I could work out, try and cross-reference, okay, if I'm already doing this many stitches for example, my 200 stitches on the border for the castle, what else can I use it for?
Yeah.
So I did a couple of different birthday ones for the January Fun Facts for Pop Culture. I did a couple of the movie ones.
Yeah.
You know, it's a castle that lent itself to quite a few things.
Yeah.
And
just point out up the top is where you can see what she used it for in that top box up the top.
Yes, up here.
Up there is where you can see the whole list.
Oh, yeah, because you can only see it.
Yeah.
So Titanic, it was because Titanic is part of the sort of backstory of Titanic is the difference between the classes. And in my castle sampler, there's the Lord and Lady sitting on their chairs being entertained by the minstrels. Princess Diaries, she lives in a castle. Snow White and the Huntsman, castle. So yes, so then I could also go across and go, okay, how many whips or how many different challenges has this one whip got? And then this one I put in manually. Once I work out, I go across and work out how many stitches do I need for each one.
So yeah, 2,000 you could share.
Yeah. So yeah, and so then this tells me how much I'm aiming for the month. So where there was only 1 or 2 whips, I didn't bother with those. I went for the higher count ones. So they're the ones you can see I made bold. So yeah, so 4 challenges, 5 and 4. I have not been quite so successful in double dipping this month. Some, yes, but then I've got a lot of 1s and 2s. So I'm going to have to, and a lot more whips. You can see there's a lot more.
But that's because you probably actually had a lot more to fit prompts this month. But the way you go, you're going to, start from the 5 and work your way down.
Yeah. Well, also because I had more challenges. So because this time there's 2, because the Down Under Divas are now doing fortnightly challenges. So there's 2 of them. So I've also put the date in up here. And for some of them, like for these ones, every prompt is 100 stitches. So I put that up here because then I don't have to try and fit it in here. February Fun Facts, each one's different numbers of stitches. So you can see here.
Yeah, they're all different.
Yeah. So and I've got somewhere I looked at the monthly one for Down Under Divas and went, no, I think that's going to be too much. So I've left it in there, but I've hidden it. So yes, so when I come over here, you can see there's lots more smaller counts. So the ones in this column I've put for the 2s. So if I get to them, I will, but I'm going to start. So then I've put a filter on. So what I can do is I can filter and I can take out all the 0s, 1s and 2s and just see 3s, 4s and 5s and start with them.
Oh, that makes it easier. Yep.
Or because I'm looking at the ones that need to be done first, which is this one, which is only to the 13th of February, I can then also go in and take out the blanks on this one. And that just shows me which ones I need to stitch on for this challenge, because I need to do these ones first.
So probably the ones of those that are a 3, 4 and 5 is what you'll be starting with.
Yeah, well, actually, so the red ones are the ones that I've done already.
Oh, good. Well done. So you finished.
So yeah, so sewing with Mama was only a 2, but I could also use it for my No New Starts travel.
Cool.
So I've got a tab for those as well,
Mm-hmm.
just so I can keep track. Because
Excellent.
particularly for this, well, last time it was because I was stopping and starting to take photos with my castle, but not posting the photos every time. I had to keep track
Mm-hmm.
of what stitch count was the photo, which line did it match with. So just quickly, no, sorry, No New Starts. So yeah, so here I've got my finished stitch count as I was going through the castle one, and then I colored this one in yellow when I posted the photo so that I could keep track of where I was up to. And yep.
Awesome.
So yes, so that's, and then so once I've decided which prompts I'm going to do, then I write them into my book, because quite often, like, I'm not going to have the computer in front of me every time when I'm stitching, or if I do, it's on Zoom, and so I don't want to be flicking. So I have the ones written down. So these are the two that I just did for my Sewing with Mama. So I've ticked them off because I posted them. Yeah, so I use electronic and paper, because sometimes I like the hard copy thing. It's easier to look at.
I like the paper copy, but you've seen mine before, and I'll show you it again another day. Well, thank you. That's a lovely insight into Jenny's accountant brain, which is good. All right, my plans got changed by having to do the model stitch. I had planned to finish all my animal safari sort of prompts for Daily 30 over the weekend. Now
That's the new zombie run, isn't it?
The new zombie run, yeah. So I'm now behind on that. So I will be getting back onto my ABC houses when I have finished building a biscornu. I have my ingredients here to build the biscornu. It's ready to go. I just have to work out how to stitch it, and then it'll be good. So that's all for the stitching. I'm just going to do a really little bit of a Paddock Lane Designs update. So if that doesn't interest you, see you later. But I just wanted to show you.
Oh, wow.
All of this, tomorrow's plan is to get all this on my website. Now, this is on top of the stuff that I took down to Janet's. There's a whole bunch of new stuff on JK's. Plus, Daisy Chain Stitchery has a whole bunch of linens and aiders ready to go. And the thing is, I have got a new range. So, you know, you're all pretty used to these sort of ones, which are my, you know, random colored dyes. I now have got opalescent available in 14 and
I can see the sparkle.
Yeah, 14 and 18 count aider and 28 count, and I will have 32 count even weave. So yeah, so there's sparkles, there's non-sparkles, there's crazy dyes and not so crazy dyes. So you're pretty used to seeing those ones. But I've also got my new range, which has got, I'm going to try and be consistent. So we've got lemon meringue.
Ooh.
We've got, see, I haven't labeled these ones. We've got blush. And these are available in all the counts. We have got smoky.
So is that like grey then, I'm guessing?
That's a grey, yes.
Yeah.
So smokies are grey. And then we have got hazy, which is like a grey and a brown.
Oh, yes.
Right. So there's some hazies. We have got a hint of mint. It's a really light green.
Yes.
A bit hard to see in this light, but
yeah, it did. When you brought it up close to the camera, it did look slightly yellowish rather than greenish, but
yeah,
the name kind of suggests what color it is.
Yes, and then we've got prim, which is like a deepish beige. I'm just going through this pile in my Then you've got the minty, which is greener. So you see, if I actually show you these together, you might be able to see the green.
Oh, yes.
Mint.
Is that minty with a Y or I like the lolly?
It's got a Y on it. And then you've got my sort of parchment, but not so like just a,
Sort of creamish.
well, yeah, without, so there's not so many variegations, and like these are all basically the same in different colors. So all of them, if I get this stuff done tomorrow, which I should be able to because the kids are back at school, onto the website, paddocklanedesigns.com. I'm getting given a cat. He doesn't want to stay with me. No, she doesn't want to stay. Have a cat bun. Paddocklanedesigns.com has got them up there very, very soon. All right, so that's what I'm up to. Have a great week stitching. I'll hopefully be back with you. What I've worked out is that I'm going to cut the floss tube down a little bit too. So we've got the once a month with Jenny, usually the first weekend of the month. And then I'm going to aim to do 2 in the rest of the month because I'm doing more focused stitching. I don't have as much to show. So it won't be on a particular day necessarily, but I'm going to cull it down. But you're going to see Jenny in 2 weeks' time in person at a Shady Trees Retreat special. So,
well, as in together with you in person. Like they always see me, but we're going to be together in the same spot.
We will be with Shady Trees guests. So so we'll see. I might do a regular one next weekend, and then the one after will be another special. So you can look forward to that, guys. All right. Thanks for joining us. Happy stitching, everyone.
Bye.